Welcome back to Grind and Grow, the place where real-life struggles meet real solutions. Today, we're diving deep into a challenge many families, schools, and communities face: hard-headed teens. If you've ever dealt with a teen who pushes back against everything you say, who argues just to argue, or who seems unreachable no matter what you try, you are not alone. And this video is for you. By the end of this video, we'll go beyond frustration. We'll uncover how to truly understand, guide, and love these teens, not just as parents, but also as friends, relatives, teachers, and mentors. And we'll also talk about when to seek professional help, because sometimes the strongest step of love is asking for support. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Here at Grind and Grow, we're building a community that doesn't just complain about struggles. We grow through them together. Section 1. Parents' Silent Struggles. Parents often carry the heaviest weight. You love your child with everything you've got, but sometimes it feels like that love bounces off a wall of resistance. Imagine this. You're exhausted from work, yet you sit down to dinner with your teen, asking how their day went. Instead of a warm answer, you get silence. Or worse, a sarcastic reply. Your heart sinks, not because of disrespect, but because you fear the gap between you is widening. Many parents ask themselves, am I failing my child? Am I losing them? The truth is, no, you're not failing. Resistance is often a sign of growth, not rejection. Teens test limits because they're trying to define themselves. It doesn't mean they don't love you. It means they're stretching, like a bird testing its wings. As a parent, your greatest power is consistency. Keep showing up. Even when doors slam, even when words hurt. Be steady. Teens may not thank you today, but years later, they'll look back and realize your love was the one thing they could always count on. Section 2. The Power of Friends. Let's shift to the perspective of friends. Teens often confide in their peers more than in their parents. They'll spill secrets, share dreams, and reveal insecurities that they never show at home. If you are a friend to a hard-headed teen, understand your influence. One sentence from you can shape their path, for good or for bad. If you encourage reckless behavior, they may follow it. But if you encourage resilience, positivity, or self-belief, you might be the spark that lights their potential. Think about it. A simple, "I believe in you," said by a friend can echo louder than a parent's lecture. A friend who says, "Come on, let's not do this, we're better than that," can pull someone back from a dangerous choice. Friends are not powerless. You're mirrors. What you reflect can either build them up or break them down. Section 3. Relatives as the bridge. Relatives, uncles, aunts, cousins, grandparents, you often have a role parents don't. Sometimes teens feel safer opening up to you. Maybe because you're a little less strict, or because you remind them of stories outside their immediate household. These moments matter. Don't just lecture, share your story. Talk about your mistakes, your regrets, your victories. Teens crave authenticity. They don't want to hear perfection, they want to hear truth. Maybe you share how you skipped school once and paid the price. Or how you almost gave up but pushed through. Relatives can serve as bridges, carrying teens across the gap between rebellion and understanding. Section 4. Teachers as mentors. Teachers, you are more than educators. You're mentors, guides, and sometimes safe havens. You may have dozens of students, but to a hard-headed teen, you might be the one adult outside their family who believes in them. Think about it. Teens may forget formulas and dates, but they will never forget the teacher who said, "You're smart, you can do this." They will never forget the teacher who noticed their silence, who stayed after class to check in, who encouraged them when no one else did. Every time you invest kindness into a student, you're planting seeds that may bloom years later. Section 5. Why teens become hard-headed. It's easy to slap the label difficult on a teen. But what's behind the stubbornness? Science gives us part of the answer. The teenage brain is still developing. The part responsible for impulse control and decision-making, the prefrontal cortex, isn't fully matured. Meanwhile, emotions and the need for independence are at an all-time high. That's why teens often take risks, push limits, and resist authority. They're not trying to hurt you. They're trying to find themselves. Hard-headedness is often confusion dressed as rebellion. Section 6. Listening without judgment. One of the most powerful tools we have is listening. Not listening to correct. Not listening to respond. But listening to understand. When you pause your lectures and simply let a teen talk, even if their words are messy, even if they seem ridiculous, you're telling them, your voice matters. You matter. And here's the secret. Even when they act uninterested, they notice. Your willingness to listen builds trust. Trust is the soil where change grows. Section 7. Boundaries mixed with love. Patience doesn't mean passivity. Teens need boundaries. Boundaries are like the fence around a garden. They don't trap, they protect. But boundaries alone aren't enough. If you discipline without love, you breed rebellion. If you love without boundaries, you breed chaos. But together, boundaries and love create respect. When you say, "I love you too much to let you go down this road," you're showing that discipline isn't punishment, it's protection. Section 8. When to seek professional help. Now let's be real. Sometimes patience, consistency, and love aren't enough. And that's not failure. That's being human. If your teen's behavior is destructive, if they're showing signs of depression, if they're isolating themselves, lashing out violently, or refusing to engage, it may be time to seek help. Guidance counselors, therapists, youth mentors, community programs, they exist for a reason. Sometimes a teen needs an outside voice. Sometimes they'll open up to a counselor in ways they never would to family. Asking for help doesn't mean you've lost. It means you're wise enough to know you can't do it alone. And that's strength, not weakness. Section 9. Stories of hope. Let's pause and look at hope. Across the world, there are thousands of stories where stubborn teens turned into resilient leaders because someone never gave up. The parent who kept showing up at every game, even when their teen said they didn't care. The friend who said, "You're better than this," and pulled them back from a bad choice. The grandparent who shared wisdom that finally sank in. The teacher who encouraged a student until their eyes lit up with belief. The counselor who provided a safe place to cry and rebuild. These stories remind us that stubbornness isn't permanent. With enough love, patience, and guidance, walls can crumble. Section 10. Turning stubbornness into strength. Here's the key. Hard-headedness can be transformed. Stubbornness can become determination. Defiance can become leadership. Resistance can become resilience. The difference lies in guidance. Instead of breaking their spirit, channel it. Tell them, "You have a strong will. Let's use it to do something powerful." Section 11. The small wins. Breakthrough doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's in the small wins, a softer tone instead of a shout. A door left open instead of slammed. A smile after weeks of silence. A small thank you. Celebrate these moments. They are proof that love is working. Section 12. Call to patience, love, and growth. If you're dealing with a hard-headed teen, here's what you must remember. You are not alone, and you are not powerless. Parents, keep showing up. Friends, keep uplifting. Relatives, keep connecting. Teachers, keep believing. And when needed, counselors and professionals, keep guiding. One day, the teen who resists you will look back and realize your patience, your love, your presence saved them. If this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Drop your story in the comments. Share what worked, what hurt, what healed. Together, we can create a circle of hope for families, friends, and educators everywhere. Like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to Grind and Grow. Because here, we don't just grind through the struggles. We grow from them.